Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to dip back into the censorship controversy with manga and anime and video games.
Oh, you mean the controversy that some people say it doesn't exist? When it totally does.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're almost at 125,000 subs.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, guys. Thanks for the support. And we do only talk about what interests us. Mm-hmm. And we could go back to the well and talk about a lot of different stuff again and again and again, but that's not us.
Right.
This, however, is very interesting because we're gonna see that Japan in particular is not going to put up with a lot of the censorship that's going on in the US. In fact, they are concerned. Manga artists, video game developers, anime creators, they're concerned about the amount of censorship that the West seems to be foisting upon them.
Right, and you have to understand too that over here, manga and anime are kicking everybody else's butts. And of course, we can't have that, can we? If we can't control it, and we have to either own it or put parameters on it.
Yeah.
To make sure we control it.
And this is problematic for manga because manga has always been open to freedom of expression, but the West has gotten censor happy, especially over the last couple months.
Right.
Everything has just gone insane. So before we actually get into this article, which is on Crunchyroll's website, believe it or not, a couple days ago we did a video talking about the Record of Lodoss War author being concerned that because an episode of Community was pulled due to Chang being dressed as a drow.
A drow, guys.
A drow. This is
Clearly he's not doing blackface there.
He's not doing blackface, because if Chang is doing blackface, then all of the Klingons on Discovery
That's right.
are also doing blackface. But he's actually a drow. Nobody had a problem with this episode until like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So the creator of Record of Lodoss War is concerned because he's got dark elf characters, and there's been a lot of backlash against tanner Asian characters, and he's like, oh my god, they're going to come for Record of Lodoss War, and they're going to try to censor my characters because they're too dark-skinned, even though they've been around for like 30 years.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter. Everything's problematic now. So we had some commenters, and I'm not naming who they are, but we had some commenters on our last YouTube video basically saying that literally nobody was talking about censorship. It was just the Record of Lodoss War guy.
Also, it says our core audience is all racist, which is funny because most of you aren't even white. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, we actually have a quite a diverse audience here on Clownfish TV. A lot of black folks, a lot of Hispanic folks, a lot of people from other countries. But, if you want to believe that we're just a bunch of, alt-right Yahtzees, white supremacists.
Well, no, that's what they do. I'm gonna try to discredit your argument, even though I know it's valid, by calling you that. And your audience is all that, too. So, it's a typical BS. I didn't actually listen. I don't actually pay attention. Load of crap argument.
Yeah. So anyway, I cut the name out. And I think it's funny because literally an hour after this guy made this comment about how, it's just a Lodoss War guy. Everybody's 99% of manga artists think everything's fine. I can just check their Twitter and interviews. Well, here we go. From Twitter, an hour later, Love Hina manga creator discusses manga's freedom of expression with the Japanese government. It's gotten so serious, and we'll talk about that too, because there actually are candidates who are fighting against censorship in Japan right now. It's gotten so serious that manga creators are discussing it with the government. They're concerned about outside forces, i.e. America.
Oh, so it's just that one person's upset so much so that people are running on a campaign and the government's getting involved.
Yeah,
but no, it's just one person.
So here's a tweet. Here's from Twitter. You got to go check Twitter to see what the other 99% of authors think. So this is Ken Akamatsu, who is the creator of Love Hina, which we freaking love, Love Hina, and also Mao-chan, I believe. Mao-chan with the little girls tanks.
Pinky Boo loved Mao-chan. Oh my goodness, she loved it.
I love Mao-chan. It's so it's such a mellow show. Anyway, the creator said on June 29th, an hour after I posted this, he'd recently been summoned by the Japanese national government to discuss manga and how it can succeed in the next 10 years. Akamatsu has been involved as an informal advisor for the Japanese government in the past on matters relating to manga from a creator's perspective. This is what he said. This month, I was invited to participate in a House of Counselors witness questioning session, but instead a member of the Diet Japanese government asked me what measures are needed for Japanese manga needed to survive in the world. I replied, first and foremost, freedom of expression.
Yes.
Compared to other countries, Japan's forte is its freedom of creativity. However, with foreign platforms becoming more and more dominant,
It's oppressive.
I would like to avoid a situation where Japanese works are regulated by foreign standards.
So would we.
Translation: I am worried about America going on a censorship spree, and as manga and anime become more mainstream in America, I really don't want Americans telling me what I can and can't draw.
I don't want Americans taking their sensibilities and putting it in our culture because we're not them. And we don't have a right to tell them what they can and can't do.
So Akamatsu went on to say that to preserve manga over the next 10 years, the raw manuscripts of manga series should be stored, exhibited, and monetized at a national manga center, basically an archive, a data bank of manga. According to Akamatsu, all the government members in attendance agreed with the idea. In the past, Akamatsu spearheaded the Doujin mark for the cover of manga volumes, showing the original creator of the series approved the series being used for fan work. So basically, like, you're making fan art, fan comics, I approve. So this is kind of big news. This is the Japanese government being like, quick, we've got to have a meeting because the Americans are censor happy.
It's preserving culture.
Yeah,
that's what it is. We have to have a meaning to preserve our culture because, you know, other people are trying to put their parameters and dictate our culture. And
Yep.
it's and that's a load of shit. These people are against cultural appropriation and things like that, unless it benefits them.
So we've seen it more and more with, I mean, look, in the West, there's been a lot of censorship of anime in particular. Look back at the 80s, 90s, and you look at even stupid things like Pokemon and the rice balls being, you know, jelly donuts and Sailor Moon.
I was going to say Sailor Moon with the cousins.
Right, but,
yeah,
you know, we've come further than that. But again, this is what's going on. When some kind of medium, some kind of art form becomes popular, it is ripe for the co-opting by people who want to use that platform to push ideology. And that's kind of what's going on with anime and manga right now, where it's blowing up again. It's sort of, you know, it was big in the 2000s. Manga was big, and then Tokyo Pop imploded, and then it sort of went dormant for a while. But now with American comics being trash, a lot of them.
Basically, these guys are outselling American comics. You don't think the American comic people aren't trying to do what they can to get a piece of that?
Yep.
And control it?
So now with, you know, they had a big presentation for all the librarians and junk over the summer. They were like, oh, manga's where it's at, guys. This is where it's at. So, of course, you've got people like, well, all the kids are reading manga, so we got to change that. We got to inject our ideology in.
Got to make sure that's the right politics to make sure that they're trained the right way.
Make sure they're trained the right way. We have to do this, and the Japanese won't have it. They're actually concerned. You know what's going to happen? They're going to stop licensing stuff out to America, or they'll just be like, fine, we'll give you guys the weak sauce stuff, but we're gonna kind of pull into ourselves, and we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do over here, because your politics and your sensibilities should not affect us at all, any more than some of the censorship, you know, in the Middle East or whatever should affect American audiences. And we saw there was a lot of backlash over Gravity Falls taking Grunkle Stan's emblem off of his fez. They did that because they said it looked too much like the flag of Turkey. Well, fine, don't run those episodes in Turkey, but on Disney Plus, they were running the edited episodes, and even Alex Hirsch had a fit about it on Twitter. He's like, I don't see why this is even an issue here in the States. But that's what's going on here. America, I mean, you want to talk about arrogance. These people working in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, thinks that its goal, its divine mission is to bring its own political enlightenment to the rest of the world, and Japan won't have it.
Good.
I mean, it's gotten so bad that we've got candidates running for office in Japan, fighting against censorship of manga, anime, and video games. He won. This guy won. We talked about that before too. You know, it is an issue. Patreon's been banning anime style artwork because they're saying that the characters look too young, that they could potentially be underage. But then they're overstepping. It's not just like, you can't post this kind of artwork on Patreon. We're going to dig into your Google Drive.
Right. Yeah, that's messed up.
And see what kind of artwork you're producing. And I'm like,
well, how was it their business? How is that their business? How that, you know, that they don't have that right.
It's for the greater good. Think of the children.
They don't have the right. They can only control what's on their platform. They have absolutely no right or no say in anything that you do outside of that platform. They just don't. I'm sorry.
So what's going on now is Patreon's taking a huge hit. I mean, this is
good. They deserve it.
Yeah, this is on top of them banning people for their behavior on other social media platforms. But, you know, I did a video last night talking about Reddit and YouTube and Twitch. And it seems like all of these social media platforms are kind of in cahoots with each other to purge the internet of people they deem to be problematic. It's almost like they have like some sort of Sele council behind the scenes, like Evangelion, where they talk about certain problematic individuals and how they need to purge them from every platform. And it's scary because it starts with the extremists. I mean, you know, they'll start purging extremists, they'll start purging extreme art or whatever, and eventually they're going to keep creeping that line up.
Right. Until they control everything and it's all the way they want it. And my next question is, okay, when they're banning stuff, they're banning stuff just because it had to be something of a questionable nature? Or was it they banning stuff that just anything looked like an underage person?
Well, okay, so Patreon makes the bulk of its money from lewds.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, and
you want money, you do nudes.
Yeah, and there are people. I see people with their webcomic Patreons. I'm like, how are these people making like $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month? It's like, oh, they're doing porn.
That's right. We could have made a heck of a lot of money with 50 Shades of Crimson with our character.
Yeah,
but we didn't do that.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. But anyway, they're saying that they're banning like anime style characters in lewds because you can't vet the age. I'm like, well, there's a couple things going on here. One, they're cartoons, you know, they're cartoons, so you don't know.
Obviously, it's obviously a child, I can understand.
Right.
But with anime, you can't always tell.
Right, so what was going on is they were, you know, any anime style character in a lewd situation, they were banning, but then they were overstepping and trying to like dig into people's drives and be like, you're not sharing this work, are you? But then I want to...
How could they even do that? So wait. They demanded access to your personal drives and then told you what you could and couldn't do.
Yep.
What the hell? That's beyond privacy issues there. That's bullshit.
Yeah, they said, here's the text, and they said even if the characters had big anime titties, which a minor's not going to have, they said that they considered it because their face looks young, that they're underage. Now, I want to point out, and this isn't to throw shade at any particular cartoonists or animators or whatever, but Rebecca Sugar was lauded for lewd artwork of Ed, and Eddie.
Yes.
That is how she came kind of to prominence on Cartoon Brew, the Cartoon Brew website. It's like, look at these fantastic pornographic drawings of Ed, and Eddie. And then she wound up getting Steven Universe a couple of years later. So even less than a decade ago, people are like, wow, lewds of minors and Ed, and Eddie are legitimately like 14 years old, you know? But in this case, it's like, well, anything that looks anime like, and we saw a lot of pushback in Australia. They tried this too, where they're like, oh, anime characters are all problematic. And it just is from my point of view, it's just a war on anime because they're already trying to tie anime to the alt-right. You know, if somebody has an anime avatar on Twitter, that means they're alt-right, unless it's Ghibli.
Well, it's funny because a lot of these people that were saying that they post animation stuff, or you know, I've seen people that are far left that have animation avatars. So that's dumb. But you know, my question is on Patreon, how many people were putting up art of Katdora? Yeah. And if they were, I expect it fully to be banned because they're underage.
Yeah, they're underage. They're canonically on the new show. They're 16. So, golly gee willikers, I don't know. But yeah, to say that manga creators aren't concerned about this when they're literally talking to the freaking government about outside forces putting pressure on them to censor manga and anime.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So I guess we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.